I mean, the Talos Principle is over 10 years old now, which
Oh
feels,
boy!
I know, it feels mad because it's like, it feels like it's almost been next on my to play list for pretty much that entire time.
Yeah.
It always looked like a nailed on winner for me. First person 3D spatial puzzle game with cool mechanics that got you thinking about things in a different way, a la Portal, and with some cool sci-fi philosophizing story to wrap it all up in. And I tried to start Talos Principle a few times and bounced off it a little bit. And I think the reason why is that it's not the witness.
Yeah, that'll
Um,
do it. That'll do
and
it.
much like I was saying about Nine Souls last month, after playing Eterna Noctis, all other Metroidvanias pale a bit. And it's like that with puzzle games after playing The Witness. They're the sort of games that make you redefine what a 10 out of 10 game is. It just sees you just like, select all on all the games you've ever played and subtract one from their score. The Talos Principle is brilliant though, and I'm so glad I finally played it. I mean, the way the game works, if you don't know about it, or if like me you got it that and the Stanley Parable mixed up in your head, I'm going to tell
For
you.
the last decade.
Basically, yeah. Basically, I was like, I might play the Talos Principle. No, I don't really want to play a silly satire. The way the game works is that you have several different worlds with several different doors to several different groups of puzzles. The puzzles themselves are generally contained within themselves, sort of like, the aperture tests in Portal, and that they all exist with the same intention of trying to find your way through a series of obstacles to collect a Tetramino, which then combine with other Tetraminos to unlock doors to other worlds, etc. And the obstacles in these puzzles are the standard doors, switches, turrets, drones to avoid, and then you're given tools to help you solve these puzzles, like jammers to disable security gates or turn off drones or turrets. And you get prisms to guide laser beams from emitters to round obstacles to sort of unlock a door. Get blocks like the weighted companion cube in Portal. You get fans like a fan. Then you get platforms and also the ability to record yourself doing stuff to then play back with and interact with, sort of like a little short-lived clone. And it's more than enough to create all manner of mind-twisting and brain-melting problems to solve. And mostly they're brilliant. They're very clever. They make you feel very clever when you solve them. There's a few times when the game sort of breaks its own rules a bit, which I don't feel was well telegraphed enough to make it feel sort of subversive. Instead, it just felt a bit sneaky. And I think it's in moments like that where, I mean, these guys are a big developer in terms of Croatia, but they don't have carte blanche with playtesting like Valve would have had for Portal 2, or just infinite time and ego like Jonathan Blow.
It's a shame he's such a tosser, isn't it?
It really is. But there's also some puzzles towards the end of the Talos Principle that I just felt were too hard. And like one of the tricky things with like 3D puzzle games is you could have the correct solution, but if you've placed one of the elements just a fraction outside of where it needs to be to like make a certain angle between six things work, obviously it won't work, and you'll think the whole solution doesn't work, and you'll try something else. But I mean, like as a puzzle game, it's hang on a minute. But there's also some really, really cool and clever and fun secrets to try and collect as well. There's certain things that sort of encourage you to sort of like poke around little areas and find something that allows you to get a little back door into one of the puzzles, so you can maybe sneak a bit of apparatus out to then into another puzzle that then helps you unlock something else. And there's just like, it really encourages you just to play around and explore. And I didn't, maybe it was with me, but I didn't feel the invitation to try and break the game, whereas that invitation is there. And once you know it's there, then you can sort of play around with it. But like I said, I don't feel it was well telegraphed enough. But as a puzzle game, it's really, really good. But what helps set the game apart is this existential sci-fi wrapping it all comes in, which is absolutely fantastic. And the nice thing about it is it's kind of only there if you want to engage with it. Like, I mean, the game starts with establishing that you are a sentient artificial being tasked with solving puzzles. And then the game brilliantly takes you through an amazing philosophical journey into what, I mean, literally everything is or isn't or seems or could be or wasn't. There are computer terminals scattered all around this world, and you can read documents that are saved on their hard drives. It gives you some flavour as to what's happened in this world, the general philosophy of the people who constructed the world that you're in. And then you're introduced to another consciousness communicating with you through these terminals, and they discuss, deconstruct, and challenge all your potential thoughts and beliefs on life, existence, consciousness, faith, death, destiny, purpose, like everything. And the game gives you a really good selection of responses to give when you're engaging with this that really makes you feel like you're having this conversation and you are exploring these ideas for yourself, as well as, through your avatar. And it's a fantastic experience because like all parts of your brain are being stimulated, if not through the puzzles, if through the philosophy. And the fact that this is all being done in one game, it's brilliantly done. If you want to play the Talos Principle as a straight puzzle game, it's great. For those looking to have an incredible existential exploration and like a proper brain-bending experience, it really is unlike anything else, apart from maybe the Talos Principle 2, which I assume it's similar to. I would say it's in the top 3 3D puzzle games alongside, below The Witness and Portal and Portal 2. But like that shouldn't take anything away from what an achievement this game is. I had a fantastic time trawling through the game to find all the secrets as well, which then unlocked, there's several different endings for the game. I had to use a guide a few times.
Loser.
Thank you. There's definitely a few more obtuse puzzles that because there are times when I'd look at a guide and I'd be like, obviously, why didn't I think of that? And then sometimes when I'd be a guide and be like, well, you never told me that I could do that, so how was I to know? And then other ones where I'm like, I still don't understand how I solved it, and I have. But if anyone else is 10 years late to this party, I really encourage you to play it, especially as in the coming weeks, it's getting a full-on current-gen remaster that's coming out very, very soon. Which looks beautiful, and the core of the game is going to be brilliant. I think there's a expansion which I haven't played that is included in this remaster as well. I'm tempted to get the PS5 version, just play through it all again, to be honest.
Ray tracing,
probably, and then there's the Talos Principle 2. That'll be a real treat when I get to that, but my brain definitely needs a good rest before I tackle that, I think. Yeah, but really, really good.